Hello and welcome to IB Times UK. More than 2,000 people have been killed in Iran since President Hassan Rouhani was elected in 2013. We spoke with the UK-based NGO Reprieve, which recently published a report highlighting a correlation between anti-drug campaigns in Iran, funded by Europe, and a spike of executions in the Middle Eastern nation.
Iran has the highest per capita execution rate in the world, and since the start of 2015 it's executed upwards of 700 people. We don't have official execution numbers because only a small number of the executions which take place in Iran are officially disclosed by the government. But human rights groups tracking this have been able to account for over 700. Around 67% of the executions which take place in Iran are of drug offenders. European countries like the UK, France and Germany have given huge amounts of money to aggressive anti-drug operations carried out by Iran's anti-narcotics police without putting any conditions in place which prevent that funding directly leading to death sentences and executions. We recently concluded a 2-year investigation which looked at anti-drug operations carried out in Iran, administered by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and funded by the countries I mentioned, the UK, France, Germany, among others. And we found that European support for drug raids in Iran could be tied to more than 3,000 executions. And this isn't just a correlative relationship. We can draw a direct link between the projects that European donors have funded and death sentences and executions. We're not saying that European states shouldn't take action abroad to fulfill their drug policy objectives. We're just saying that simple conditions should be applied, which makes sure that European taxpayers' money isn't used to further practices to which European states are fundamentally opposed.
Human rights groups have warned that several executions in Iran, mainly carried out by hanging, are in breach of both domestic and international laws. In July, the NGO Iran Human Rights warned that Iran executed at least one juvenile offender in 2015. Javad Saberi was hanged after being convicted of murder, despite the fact he suffered from mental illness.
International law says, the ICCPR says, that the death penalty should be only handed down for the most serious crimes. And the Human Rights Council of the UN has ruled on a number of occasions that drug offences do not count as the most serious crimes. Also, the execution of juveniles is a systemic problem in Iran. One example would be the execution last year of 15-year-old Janat Mir, who was an Afghan boy who travelled from Afghanistan to Iran and was arrested for allegedly carrying drugs. And he was hanged despite having, as I say, been a young teenager at the time the alleged offence took place.